Hi, now looking at two more types of software which are really direct comparisons of each other, or direct opposites I suppose, off-the-shelf and bespoke software. So first of all, off-the-shelf, a slightly strange term. So this is software that has already been designed and is available to use straight away. So it's a bit weird because it's a bit old-fashioned really, the idea that you might have a box of software, you might go into a shop and have a CD with the software installed, and you might have a whole shelf full of software ready for you to go and buy, ready for you to go and install. Of course, nowadays, most software is downloaded online, but still you might go to an app store or a website to download different bits of software. They're available to use, you're not waiting for them to be made available. So the idea is that companies will design this software with a general range of features which are meant to apply to a variety of users. So this box is of Microsoft Publisher from 2010. Publisher is used for more creative tasks like leaflets and magazines and generally more appearance-based documents. There are loads of tools there designed for all different scenarios, not for one specific task. It's meant to be fairly general within its category of desktop publishing. So Microsoft is aiming at a wide range of people, not just one organization or one type of job. Now, the benefit of using off-the-shelf software, apart from it being ready for you immediately, is that if it's popular, because it's designed to be used for a wide variety of users, there may be lots of support available. Microsoft might publish lots of tutorials and guidance because there are so many features, not all of which are going to be used. Equally, a community might provide lots of resources like Publisher. If you search for Publisher on YouTube, lots of people making tutorials because it's fairly widely used, and therefore people want to be helpful and put videos up, for example. In terms of more formal support, updates may well be available for off-the-shelf software. If it's a fairly big bit of software, the developer might release updates to fix bugs and generally release new features over time. In terms of the software you are buying, you might buy video games, you might buy an operating system or something like that, you might buy Office software by Microsoft, for example, that is all off the shelf. Okay, it's very unlikely you're not using off-the-shelf software, at least in terms of what you're buying. But some organizations might buy bespoke software. So if something is bespoke, that means it's custom made. In this case, the software is made to meet the requirements of the user. So for example, a bank might pay a software developer to make an app just for them. So all of the source code is specific to what they want. A requirement is what they want. The bank might require you to be able to see your balance, to pay different people, to pay in a check, for example. And so the software is made specific to them. Right? There's not going to be an app you can buy which performs all these jobs because it's very specific to the company itself. Now that's why you or me probably won't ever have bespoke software for ourselves, because it's a very specific and expensive process. Depending on who is doing this job, the creator may provide the source code to the people paying them so that they can in the future make adaptations, but in many cases they'll just pay to have the software and maybe not to see the actual code. In some cases, the company might employ a software developer or software developers to make this code for them. Other times it might be a different company who are separate. And depending on the contract and how their setup works, support may be available for a period of time. You may be able to get updates and get other features added, but it just depends on the original contract or whether you are hiring people to do this for you. Now, because the vast majority of software we use is considered off the shelf, let's just focus on pros and cons of bespoke software. So, because it is bespoke, because it's custom made, it only contains the features needed. That's good from a simplicity perspective. It's easier for users to use, in theory, but also performance-wise, having added features bloats the software, slows it down, causes confusion, uses up more space on the computer, and so this is a very streamlined bit of software, or it should be at least. Another key advantage is it's used only by you. No other company is going to use this software because it's bespoke to you. So therefore it may provide a competitive advantage. That means you might benefit from having this software. It might mean more customers come to you if it's a good bit of software, you might get more money overall because nobody else can use it. Something like Publisher or other off-the-shelf software can be used by anybody, so it's not really giving you an advantage on its own. However, the main drawback is this is expensive. Hiring software developers is expensive. They get paid a lot of money, as you might know. Paying for developers generally is expensive, more so than off-the-shelf software. Also, support may be harder to find, especially if you end the connection to the developers. They might move on to other jobs. Your contract might be up. You may not have any help if you encounter an issue or want to extend it and things like this, because only you are using it really. There's not a community available to help you. And finally, it shouldn't be like this, but it may not have been as tested as thoroughly, or at least not by many people. Like, it's only been the developer who's tested it. There haven't been, thousands or millions of other users who've tested it before you, because it's going to you and only you. There is not that wide group of people who've tested it and made sure it is working correctly.